Ay.
Ya, Antonella, tranquila.
Hello friends! You're on the Last Days channel. Thank you so much for your engagement and support. And so, a review of events for December 10th and 11th. Tennessee, United States.
Oh my God.
In the state of Tennessee, there was a terrible incident. A tornado almost destroyed the city of Clarksville. 6 people died, more than 30 were injured and hospitalized. The wind blew off the roofs of buildings, trees, and cars. People had to hide in basements to escape the weather. Many homes were also destroyed. Emergency services are now working all over the city to help those affected. Some people are still trapped in damaged or destroyed buildings. Volunteers are searching for people under the rubble. A temporary accommodation center has been opened for them. There is no light in different parts of the city, and more than 60,000 people remain without electricity throughout Tennessee. Bad weather has also hit other cities in the state, including Springfield, Nashville, and Madison. Authorities are asking residents who need help to call emergency services immediately. Forecasters are warning that destructive storms are moving eastward and a persistent cold front could bring high winds, heavy rain, hail, and even snowfall in some regions on Sunday. Chelyabinsk, Russia. The Arctic anticyclone has chained most of Russia. Abnormal frosts reach -50 degrees Celsius, which is almost twice below the climatic norm. Heating lines and power substations cannot withstand such indicators. In Chelyabinsk, severe frosts damaged a water pipe. Streets turned into rivers filled with boiling water. Motorists and pedestrians have difficulty moving around the city. Power lines can't withstand extreme temperatures either. Due to a broken cable, a village near Chelyabinsk was left without light and heat. Mecca, Saudi Arabia.
Ya mashallah.
For several weeks, the Arab region has been hit hard by prolonged heavy rains. In places, several months' worth of rain fell at once. Due to heavy rains, a section of the road leading to the holy city of Mecca for Muslims had to be closed for travel. Heavy rains flooded Jeddah, the second largest city in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, located on the Red Sea coast. Traffic on the streets is impossible. The raging streams of water demolish even cars. Tourists are trying to leave the city, but some flights at the international airport have also been canceled. By order of the authorities, schools in Jeddah and nearby towns have been closed for the safety of students. Abakana, Khakassia. In Khakassia, due to severe frosts, there was an emergency power outage in several settlements. The authorities quickly introduced emergency mode. Most houses were left without heating and light. Residents, freezing at temperatures of -30 degrees, were forced to leave their homes and go to the nearest airport to warm up. Weather forecasters warned that the abnormal frosts will persist at least until the end of the week. Now the air temperature in the Republic of Abakana is frozen at -34 degrees. In such conditions, representatives of the emergency department advise citizens to pay special attention to their own safety. Do not leave unattended stoves and other heating devices. Be careful on the roads. Ireland. Storm Fergus hit Great Britain, bringing not only strong winds and huge waves, but also a devastating tornado. His blow came to Ireland, and more specifically, to the village of Leitrim. The vortex rips the roofs off houses, debris of roofs and branches fly in the air. The wind overturns yachts on the reservoir and cars. Some are severely damaged after falling trees or other objects. The streets are now littered with debris and mud. Emergency and utility services are trying to quickly eliminate the consequences of the elements. There was no information on fatalities or injuries. The settlement authorities said that the extent of the damage is serious. United Kingdom. According to the report of the Ministry of Environment, about 7,000 houses on the shores of the British archipelago will be destroyed in this century due to rising sea levels and erosion of the coastline. The amount of damage to households and the economy due to coastal erosion over the same period is estimated at £1 billion. Collapse threatens 800 homes. The United Kingdom coastline is constantly affected by high tides and high waves. However, no large-scale programs are undertaken at the state level to protect the land from landslides and erosion, as the cost of their implementation far exceeds the size of the potential damage. Residents of private houses on the coast are in the most unfavorable situation. Against the background of the regular threat of flooding during storms and floods and the lack of preventive measures on the part of the government, they have no financial guarantees of compensation in case of natural disasters. Tamil Nadu, India. In India, continue to eliminate the consequences of severe flooding, which occurred in the state of Tamil Nadu. The number of dead when the disaster struck the southeast of the country has reached 24 people. In the most affected by the storm, Michong city of Chennai still flooded about 120 streets. The cyclone hit the Tamil Nadu coast earlier this week. It brought powerful downpours that flooded Chennai and suburbs. Most people drowned in low-lying areas and also died after being electrocuted when wires of power lines fell. A few people were rescued in the process. Emergency services have already managed to pump water out of the subway tunnels. At the weekend, the movement of trains in the subway resumed. Electricity has also been restored in 99% of the districts. Classes in schools are planned to resume today. Central Chile. The central part of Chile is engulfed by forest fires. The most dangerous situation now around the commune Limache. All local residents are asked to evacuate urgently, as due to strong wind gusts can spill over to residential buildings. The area of the fire is now estimated at 800 hectares. According to local media, there are already the first victims. 7 people have been taken to hospital with burns. Specialists report that the situation may get worse, as the fire has not yet been eliminated. Specialists recommend not to open windows in remote areas and spend as little time outdoors as possible. 200 firefighters and special equipment, including helicopters and airplanes, are involved in extinguishing the fire. According to some reports, the fires broke out simultaneously at a great distance from each other. Near one of them, passers-by noticed a man running away. Police detained him and found a lighter in his pocket. However, all the details of the incident are still to be clarified. Turkey. In Turkey, bomb technicians decided to demolish an earthquake-damaged building with a directional blast, but the dismantling didn't go according to plan. The 12-story building collapsed onto neighboring new buildings. The collapsed building was severely damaged during the February earthquake. Recall that on February 6, 2023 in the southeast of Turkey, as well as in Syria, there were 2 powerful earthquakes with a magnitude of 7.8 and 7.5. As a result of the catastrophe in Turkey killed more than 50,500 people, and in Syria 8,476 people. Now seismologists are talking about the high risk of a strong earthquake in the Istanbul area. The probability is about 47%. A leading seismologist says anything can happen in the Marmara Sea area, where a tectonic fault line runs. If this happens, the magnitude of the tremors risks exceeding 7.2 points. In this case, about 90,000 buildings may collapse at once, 260,000 will be damaged. Temporary housing will be needed for about 4.5 million people. Kagoshima, Japan. Sakurajima volcano. The Sakurajima volcano in Japan has become active. Clouds of smoke rose to a height of 1,000 to 1,800 meters, and plumes appeared from the north of the crater Minamadake. The volcano is located on the Osumi Peninsula of Kyushu Island in Japan's Kagoshima Prefecture, home to about 600,000 people. Because of its explosive potential, the volcano is considered very dangerous and volcanologists are closely monitoring it. While the evacuation of local residents is not carried out, the airports are working in the former mode. Nevertheless, experts warn that within a radius of 2 kilometers volcanic rocks may fall. The height of Sakurajima is 1,117 meters above sea level, and the last time the volcano threw out columns of ash in February this year. Amambe, Paraguay. In Paraguay, a small tornado touched down in Jaguarite Fora of the department of Amambe. Eyewitnesses captured it on camera. Its aftermath was not reported. Peru. On December 10, a strong earthquake with magnitude 5.8 occurred 58 kilometers south-southwest of the Paracas Peninsula in Peru. On the same day, there was another strong earthquake with a magnitude of 5.2 and 80 kilometers southwest of the city of Ica, in Peru. China. Heavy snowfall in northern China has caused serious transportation problems, Asian media reported today. In 12 provinces due to snow and ice limited the passage of vehicles, in particular on 95 highways. In Shanxi province, train traffic has been partially stopped. In Hunan province, Zhengzhou Airport was temporarily closed, and school classes were cancelled in 3 cities. The public transportation operator in Beijing also announced restrictions. On Monday morning, buses on 187 routes were suspended. Due to weather conditions, 59 flights from Beijing Airport were cancelled on the morning of December 11th. Our planet. A scientist from Brazil said that the Amazon rainforests may turn into savannas due to climate change. He added that now Amazonia is very close to the point of no return, because in the south of the region the dry season has become much longer. Whereas it used to last 3 to 4 months, it now lasts 4 to 5. The tropical forest has already become a source of carbon dioxide emissions because the main lungs of the planet in the Brazilian states of Pará and Mato Grosso have emitted more carbon dioxide than they have absorbed. Today's drought in the Amazon equatorial rainforest region was one of the worst in recent memory. As for the planet as a whole, the area of lost tropical forests worldwide in 2022 alone amounted to about 4,100,000 hectares. And that's about 10% of everything on Earth. Just think about it, every minute the rainforest was reduced by an area equal to 11 soccer fields.